All right, it's time. Let's get started, folks. And we're live. Welcome, everybody, to this week's community call. I'm going to give people some more time to join. In the meantime, I'm going to introduce myself. I am Simon, aka Sudo. You may know me as Sudo from the chats, both in Telegram and over here in Discord. I am head of community for NIM. I have with me today Ismail, my partner in crime for these calls. Say hi to the people, Ismail.
Hello everyone. Hello everyone. It's glad to be back.
And I also have with me an absolute community OG from No Trust Verify, called Sven, CGI Bin, who probably needs no introduction to anybody who has been around for a while. And for those of you who are new, which we have quite a few of, please say hi.
Hi.
All right. I'm going to give about 20 more seconds for people to join, and I will share the happy news with all of you that I have a significantly lower viral load this week than last week, so I don't actually have a fever anymore and very little COVID, which is nice. Apologies for everybody who had to sit through the previous community call, which I participated in with pretty bad COVID symptoms. But now they are all gone. I'm healthier than ever. My brain is almost back at full capacity. So hopefully that's good news for everybody. I know it's good news for me. As always, everyone, if you have any questions or suggestions or comments during the call or even afterwards, there's a dedicated community called text channel, which is 2 or 3 channels above the NIM stage, which we're currently on. You can leave them there, and we're keeping a close eye on that channel, and we're going to be answering your questions. All right. So first of all, as usual, let's get started with our quick news roundup. Ismail, what do you have for us today?
Yes, something exciting for everyone. So, unless you've been living under a rock for these past few hours, uh, you may not have seen the NIM roadmap update. So, just now, or just a short while ago, a new blog has been released on the Medium page of NIM. Thank you, Farnoosh, for sharing it. If you want to read it, it's in the community called Text Channel. Just open the link and you'll see a full summary of what the exact updates entail. But so I'm also going to give you a quick summary of the actual roadmap update itself if you don't have the time to actually read it right now. So first things first, the NIM team is set to launch ZK NIM, which is an anonymous credential system based on the Coconut protocol. More on this you'll be able to find in the blog post itself. So second, the Nix token launch for enabling blockchain governance and validator rewards are set to release as well. So for those who are new to NIM, the Nix blockchain itself has been operating for months already on the Cosmos ecosystem. Third, NIM is set to begin Web3 wallet integrations and privacy partnerships. So behind the scenes, the NIM team is actually in discussions with a number of major Web3 wallets for actual NIM mixnet integrations. Fourth, and this is the last part of the summary, by the end of 2022, Shipyard Academy is set to graduate its first cohort of students who will by then be ready to educate and promote a future where privacy by design is the norm. So I'd like to give everyone a big thanks to all of you for joining the program. It's very nice to see more than 4,000 participants joining our Discord and actively participating. So don't forget, tomorrow there will be a quiz for all the shipyard participants. On to you, Simon.
Now, just a quick note regarding the whole roadmap update. I would like to highlight the fact that this came to be as a result of community members asking for it. So when I tell you guys to reach out with any feedback you may have for us, I always mean it because the reason we started putting together the roadmap update in late September was because we heard community feedback that our roadmap was kind of neglected, and and we agreed with it. So if you have any valuable feedback.
Oh, I think you're muted, Simon. I think there's something with your audio. So I'm just going to go move forward then with another thing that I wanted to say. So yesterday there was a first Shipyard Academy lecture by Alexei Roussel, which is the CEO of NIM. So if you're part of the Shipyard Academy and you missed the actual live event yesterday because of time zones or whatever reason, please do watch the recording that has been shared by Farnoosh in the community call chat because it's very vital, actually very vital to your actual participation in the program itself. So I think it's about an hour, the recording, something like that. So please do watch it again if you haven't already. Or if you have already, it's always worth it to just check it out again because there will be a quiz tomorrow. And yeah, we do obviously expect that you'll be able to participate. And which is good for you too, as well, obviously. And then the third important part that I'd like to mention today is obviously there has been a lot of rumors and gossip regarding the FTX situation on Twitter, on every website out there, Telegram groups, Discord. Just basically every crypto community right now is worrying about these things. And our CEO Harry Halpin, he himself has already explained that for regarding NIM holders, there's really no need to worry. NIM has zero exposure to FTX and Alameda research. And we can't really give any more comments on this right now. At least I can't, because it's a developing story with a lot of speculation involved, and also it has many moving parts. So I just want to say uh, that our hearts go out to everyone impacted by this situation. And yeah, so I see that Simon says that his his internet has gone out. That's quite unfortunate. Yeah, that's a little bit unfortunate, but that's all right. We'll just keep on going as we can for now. So there's another update that we have to put out, which is the MixNet contract version 2 is around the corner. A blog about this has been released as well. Um, yes, thank you, Farnoosh, for sharing it. So please do read the blog because it has a lot of vital information, especially for the people with mixed nodes and who've delegated their tokens. So I'll just give you a quick summary on this as well. So after a truly insane number of working hours invested over the past few months, the next major version of the NIM MixNet contract is about to be implemented. We'll be going through a few more important changes right now, but please do give the blog post an actual read as to not miss anything. So yeah, please keep an eye on our channels because we'll definitely be revealing more information on this soon. So first off, the new contract is more efficient in general, which obviously is great for performance and gas fees. Many people have been asking about compounding. Uh, yeah, so the decision was made to actually remove the whole compounding feature. So more precisely, this doesn't mean it will go away like fully, but you won't have the option to compound your rewards. It will actually just happen for you automatically for free. So next to this, there's also been some changes to unbonding. Until now, it was necessary in some situations, but now it won't be necessary anymore. So, however, when you do unbond, you will be disconnected from the mixnet permanently. So this means you will permanently lose all your delegations. Um, so with the version update, we're also making a parameter change. Mixed node stake saturation point is going up. Um, it, it's going to be 730k NIM, and it used to be 420k NIM. So as a final summary, I'd like to say that mixnet parameters such as the size of the active set itself and also the standby set and the saturation point will be changing from time to time in order to adapt to the changing network requirements and economic conditions. So when it comes to the saturation point, the team is also changing this parameter to reflect the actual growth of the current circulating supply as tokens are vesting. And now I'm quickly.
Exactly.
Oh, there he is again.
I'm actually tearing up a little bit how well you're doing, friend, in my absence. Sorry, guys, I don't know what happened to my internet connection here in Spain, Granada. It happens sometimes that it just goes away. Apologies for that. Good job, Ismail. So yeah, in summary, the blog post that we put out regarding the V2 contract update is definitely a must read for everybody, and especially people who are delegators, and even more importantly, those who are mixed node operators, because there's some pretty interesting and important changes coming. Um, And there's more information coming, by the way, about this in the very near future. So stay tuned and keep your ears and eyes glued to our channels because we're going to be sharing significantly more updates as they come to be. All right. So with that said, I think I'm going to move on to our guest, who again, a lot of people who I see here will need no introduction of. Um, today I have with me Sven, aka CGI Bin. I don't like change, so I'm not calling him by his new name, but I'm gonna just call him Sven. He is from No Trust Verify, one of our close friends. Also Mixnode operators and also developers building all sorts of fun things on the NIM platform. So welcome, Sven. It is awesome to finally have you back on.
Yeah, thanks for the invitation. It's really cool to hang out and to come at the community call too.
I think last time I had you on was at least 2 or 3 months ago at this point. So yeah, it's been a while. Now, would you care to introduce yourself a little bit and also No Trust Verify?
Yeah. So Notrust Verify is we run some Mixnode on the Mixnet, and we are here since the testnet. So we made the 2.1 testnet, and we are 3 people on the team. Only on NIM, we don't run any other kinds of nodes. And we're developing around and with the Mixnet, and I think that's it.
All right, so I'm going to ask you a bit later about some possible advice that you may have for the people who may want to run mixed nodes, given the fact that you guys have 3 very successful mixed nodes on the Mixnet. But first, let's talk a bit about V2. Because I think I provided you with a heads up even before the blog post came out, just so you can take a look. What do you think about the upgrade? I mean, we hope that our core community, just like yourself, is happy with the update because it's been some immense amount of work and effort that has gone into it. If you take a look at the changelog, guys, I think it was shared in the community called text channel. Make sure to take a look at the changelog because it's an absolutely insane amount of amount of changes coming with this version.
Yeah, I read the post, I read the changelog, and I just want to congratulate the team because it's one of a hell update. And for us, for the delegator, for the operators of Mixnode, I think there will be some change to do because we just bound, unbound, and playing with the Mixnet. And I discussed with some other operators about the new stake saturation. We'll see. Maybe it's good. Maybe it could bring to more centralization. But from the last time I checked the Explorer, we still have 50% of mixed node were in the inactive set. So I hope it will bring more people to delegate. Let's see. I think we have to wait on the V2 implemented and running to see really what's happening.
Mhm. Well, I mean, the primary reason for upping the saturation point was to follow up with the overall amount of NIM tokens in circulation. So the earlier 420,000 saturation point was determined when there was quite a few less tokens in circulation. So we just wanted to make sure the conditions remain equal to those times. Believe me when I say we have some pretty big minds, such as Claudia Diaz on the team, who are making these calculations and simulations. So there is some pretty severe and heavy math behind all of these decisions.
Yeah, I think I think everything is computed rightly, and let's see. Maybe it will bring more people to NIM.
Exactly. Now, actually, I think I'm getting ahead of myself because I never explained to all of the newcomers what the saturation point is. Do you want to do it, Sven, or should I do it?
I could try. So on the mixed node, to bring more decentralization on the mixnet, you can't just give saturation. You can. So maybe let's do it pseudo.
No, you can try. Just go ahead. You were off to a good start here.
Yeah. So nim set saturation point to help the mixnet to decentralize. Because if we don't have a saturation point, a mix node could have all the nim, and so it's not a mixnet; it's just internet or net. And
Exactly.
if you stake more, I think you can stake more than the saturation, but the APY will be down. As we can see, Node Guru, I think we had the problem late in the past about this.
Exactly. So basically, the saturation point is the stake saturation point when you buy NIM tokens and you want to delegate them to both to secure the NIM mixnet and also to earn some rewards in the process. Um, you're going to look at all the mixed nodes that exist in the system, and you're going to choose one to delegate your tokens to. Now, the saturation point is a point above which the additional delegations don't bring you any more rewards. So the rewards are maximized and are going to be distributed among more and more tokens as more and more delegations accrue. So it is in everybody's interest to not delegate anymore to those nodes that are already oversaturated because their rewards will be lower, but to look for different nodes. And with this, it's easy to see that while with no saturation point, we could have a situation where there are two mixed nodes, and all of the existing stake is staked on those two mixed nodes. With the saturation point, you and all the other players, all the other delegators, in this little system of ours are incentivized to spread out our delegations across multiple mixed nodes and thus improving decentralization, basically.
So
So
yes.
now, sorry, go ahead.
When you want to delegate, you have to check the lower mixed node, the small mixed node with smaller delegation, in order to help the mixnet.
Exactly, and also help yourself because otherwise,
Yeah.
if you're delegating to a mixed node which is already saturated, then your rewards are also going to be lower. So that's the gist of it. Now, actually, while we're talking about that, how many mixed nodes do you guys have with No Trust Verify?
Actually, we have 3 mixed node now, but with the new mix, with the update, we will have to check how many mixed node we will keep.
And you may shut one down so that you can spread delegations better, or what's the idea?
Yeah, maybe we want to offer the best APY to the delegators, so we will check, we'll compute some number to have this.
I see. All right, so on to the topic that I actually wanted to talk to you about for so long. I've been trying to drag you on one of these community calls for quite some time now, because you guys just developed this thing, which is very similar to Pastebin, which is probably not new to many people. But it's called Paste NIM and it's based on the NIM mixnet. So let's maybe first talk about Paste Bin, what it is, the original solution, like what people use it for, and then we can talk about what your mixnet based version is and what it does and how is it different.
Yeah. So Pastebin is just a website where you can share text. It's mostly used for sharing code, like when you develop, or some onion links. So I talk with some people about this, and the problem is that you don't have encryption on Pastebin, but somebody make a private bin. So it's Pastenim we think of this like a mix of private bin and paste bin.
I see. All right. So then basically paste nim is paste bin running on the nim mixnet, right?
Yeah, you can yeah.
And then what does that exactly do for me? In theory, first, we'll get to where you are currently with your project, but in theory, once the solution is completed, like what does it do for me if I share text around on Pastenim?
Yeah, but I will take the example. If you share a text on Pastebin right now, the website will know your IP address, so he can he can know the website can know from where you come. So right now you're in Spain, so Pastebin will see you coming from Spain. And on Pastenim, since we use the mixnet, we can just see the text you share. We cannot see the IP address or the country from where we are. It's the main difference. It's not very different from Pastebin. We just add the anonymity at network level.
From what I understand, it's very much a work in progress still, right? So so we're not getting a demo today. You made sure to tell me that. So let's make the appropriate disclaimer. So what can it
Yeah.
do today, and what is coming in the future? Where is the project currently?
So right now, if you want to play with Pastenim, you can share some text, you can play, and so on. But don't share any sensitive information since it's not encrypted. So we can see the content of your message, and we have to wait on NIM to implement some functionality like the SERB. With this, you will be fully anonymous. So we don't know who sent us a message. And yes, if you want to play, if you want to challenge it, please do it, because we need some people to test the solution, but do not share any sensitive information. We will implement the client-side encryption. So it's basically just a symmetric encryption with a key, and you and only you will have the key. So we will make an announcement on our channel when it's ready, and when the encryption is here, the whole system will be more secure and safer to share data, because we didn't have we couldn't have the possibility to see what you shared.
Oh, that's awesome. All right, so just to reiterate, ladies and gentlemen, it is like very much a work in progress. So don't share your credit card details just yet, because Sven will see it and he will be buying a lot of Nintendo DS games from it.
Yeah, it's not more we don't check what's inside the DB, what's inside the database, but if the governments, or if we have someone came to us, we will have some problem about this. It's more for your safety than the information you shared.
Yeah, and I think it's
Exactly.
also to remind everyone again that so this is a very nice tech to use, very fun to use as well. Obviously, as I've just used it for fun just now in the community call channel, but I think it's very important to note that yes, this enhances your privacy when sending pieces of text, but also if people know who sent who it is that sent the actual message, then then you've kind of defeated the whole point of keeping yourself private. You know, but maybe I can let CGI talk, Sven talk about this.
Yeah, but there is another purpose about this pastenim. It's kind of a simple application to play with the mixnet. So we will do some articles around it, like Ismail said, how to share a paste, or how to keep your privacy when sharing some text. So we will do some articles around it and around the problematics we have. Like we have some problematics about when you share a text, how can you be sure that no one will see it and everything else. So it's like a POC, but we will like to use it in a concrete application and usable application. But we take this more seriously for the articles too. So
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to the content myself. So yeah, we'll be sure to share it obviously as well with our community. Yeah.
Actually, to just getting back to something you said earlier, Sven. So you mentioned Serbs. For those of us in our community who don't know, Serbs are single-use reply blocks. It's basically a technology of the mixnet which allows someone who receives a message on the mixnet to send back a message to the same person using this little reply box that is basically encrypted into the Sphinx packet format that the mixnet uses. So what is depending on that right now when it comes to Pacenim?
Yeah, right now we don't use it because it's not possible to do this with the web client. But what is really cool with the Serb is that you can send us a message, and in this message you just tell us how to send you back an answer, but you didn't give your real address or your real identity. And we will try to implement it when it's ready. And as you announced earlier, the ZK name, we want to do some tests with. We want to implement it too. Like for example, you could have your past paste, and you could modify them or even delete them with your identity and ZK name. So we wait for the development, and we wait for this.
Mhm. There's a question there's a question from No Dump Node, which I think ties into this, although not Serbs, but just how Pacenim works in general. So the question is, was the data transferred over the mixnet, and where does it end? How is the user IP anonymous? How is the user or IP anonymous?
Okay, so the IP is not sent. It's just the gateway who knows the IP. So it's in the mixnet. You connect to a gateway, and all your packets, all your data goes to the tree mix node and take a connection to this and be sent to our gateway. So we can not know the IP because of the mixnet, because our in the mixnet it's like this. But we will have to explain better, I think. In an article, we will try to explain it deeper, how it really can, why we can't see your IP.
All right. Well, moving on to a little bit, but still sticking with. Sorry, you were saying something?
No, fine.
Okay. So from what I understand, Pacenim needs WebAssembly, right? So it uses our WebAssembly client.
No, we will develop a CLI application, so command line application to use it. But with the WebAssembly, you just have to connect on the website. So it's easier to use the mixnet. So if you want to before the WebAssembly, so before NIM developed this, the only way to interact with the mixnet, it was by starting a NIM client. And by starting a NIM client, you will need some technical skill to start command line interface and everything else. So with the WebAssembly, it's more easier even for the non-tech user to get a connection in the mixnet. And maybe I can elaborate on this. So the front end, the pastename.ch, is just a front end. So if somebody want to deploy another website, another maybe another domain, another website, you can do it, and you just have to connect with our NIM client. So it's really easy for everybody to implement it and to run just a front end. So it's just an interface between you and the mixnet.
All right, all right. By the way, for everyone listening in right now, it seems that Sudo, aka Simon, our lead community manager, has issues with his internet again. So I'm here again to take things over for a few minutes. So let me check where we're at right now. By the way, if everyone has any questions for CGI or just no trust verify in general, or pastenim, or any other topic relating to them, please just put your comments in the chat. Just ask your questions in the community call channel, and I'll be sure to write it down so he can answer it later. So on to the next question. Let me pull the doc 1 second. Oh yeah, I got a fun one for you. So as we have more, as the member count of our community is growing, especially in recent times, some of them or many of them may want to set up a mixed node at some point. This is a question that Simon usually asks every mixed node operator all the time. So as a true NIM community OG member, what is your advice to anyone asking about setting up a mixed node? So what would your advice be for a new person setting up a mixed node?
Yeah, I think you have to be present. You have to talk to answer people in the community. And with the NIM Shipyard Academy, I think we will see a lot of questions. So help people, but with our network, with some people get some people on board. Try to explain how NIM works at your friends, and you will see people come, and more people will come on your mixnode and delegate to it. But don't forget, the mixnet is still very young. Not every people or everybody knows about NIM. So spread the word, share your nodes too, and we still have you still have the delegation channel on Telegram and the delegation channel on Discord too. So make some advertisement in there and be in the community. I think it's the most important way to. It's the best advice. And if you can develop some application around NIM or even with NIM.
Yeah, that's great advice. Exactly. And so if you're currently in the process of setting up your mixed node, then like Sven says, we have multiple channels, social channels out there to actually ask questions and have them answered by not just the moderators or community managers, but also by people such as Sven himself. So yeah, there's a lot of documentation out there, lots of chat history you can go through to actually help yourself set up your mixed node. And I think, we have a new question that just came in from BB Vocal. Let me read it. Let me check. How can we? This is for you, Sven, by the way. How can we connect paste NIM client? Is there more document? Is there a documentation? So is there more documentation on any of this? He would like to give it he or she would like to give it a try on mobile.
Okay, so on the mobile, it should work. You wouldn't have to do anything. Just go on the website and just connect on pastenim.ch, and the client will load, and you will be connected to the mixnet. But we will share some documentation to to explain how to use it, pastename through the mixnet. So it will be like a double connection, but you will have some better privacy protection. Because right now, if you open a browser, the website will see your IP. So pastename.ch will see your IP. So we will have to do some explanation around this too.
All right, I think that's pretty clear. And I've been wondering about something else myself, by the way. So when I use pastename, I've used it a few times already. Whenever I use it, I kind of always leave the burn after reading part open, unchecked. But if people use the burn after reading part, is it quite literally that if one person has viewed it, that it then burns, so to speak? Like that's how it usually goes, I guess. Or is it that more that each individual person who reached the actual pastename that it burns for them, but they'll be able to see it?
No,
You know what I mean?
Yeah, right now it just burned the paste. When someone opened the link, it burned the paste directly.
Exactly. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Was just wondering about it.
Yeah.
Let's see. And there's another question from Karma Killer. He says they say sounds good, but how can you be sure that your message that you wrote cannot be defined in pastename?
Yeah. Right now you can't. We are working on the solution that you and only you and the people with the key can see and read the message. So it will come. It's very important to us to you to get this running well too. So it will come, but right now you can't. So this is why we did the disclaimer just before.
All right.
But
Oh yeah, continue.
we have the source code is open, so maybe I will share it later. But if you want to read the code, if you can read the code, please do it, and please challenge us on it. My DMs are open, or you can even open pull request or everything else.
Exactly. So I've been wondering myself actually because we've had you on the call before. Uh, so what I'm wondering about is when did you actually start managing your mix node, setting up your mix node, etc. Like how long have you been with the project in general? I may have asked this before actually.
No, it's with the project. I may have joined in 2001. I've made 2 testnet, but one of my mix node were in the OVH data center, and the OVH data center burned. So I've participated to 2 testnet. And after this, it's almost 7 months, I think, that our mix node is running.
Right.
Around this date, I think.
All right, that sounds really, really good. Okay, that's great. And so, how's your experience been so far?
It's really cool, but it's kind of difficult sometimes because it's an early project. The dev are working hard, and we have to read the code. Not some of the documentation are here, but it's totally normal. It's a young project, and I think we are early. So it's normal that the documentation, or there are still some problem too. But from what I know and from discussion I have with some people on the team, thank you, Max, by the way. Things are getting better since we are on time and since the development is on. So far it's good for us, because if it wasn't good, we will just left. There is many projects to participate. It's just sometimes it can take some help to develop and to add something. So I hope we will see more projects around NIM getting developed and many people asking questions and developing private apps, P apps, I think it's called in NIM. So let's build.
Right. Well, then I'd really like to thank you again for joining us today. So unfortunately, Simon's internet really is gone. Not forever, I hope, but for this call it is. So I believe we've reached the end of the community call for today. I do have, I suppose I do still have another question for you specifically, Sven, which is, are there any other projects that you're planning right now? So not just for yourself individually, but also just together with No Trust Verify, your team.
Yeah, so we will develop PaceName, but we have some other ideas like maybe a petition website where you could vote and where you could sign a virtual petition and to be sure that your identity is protected. So it's more in the future, but this is the idea we will love to see implemented on the Mixnet.
All right, that's very interesting. Very looking forward to it, as I'm sure the rest of the community is as well. We'll be sure that as community managers, we'll be sharing some of your updates once in a while. So just hit us up whenever you want to. I'd like to thank everyone for joining the call today. Sven, is there anything else you want to say before we move onward with the POAP part of the call that I'm sure everyone is looking forward to as well, as always?
No, thanks for having me, for having us. It's always cool to be around the community and to speak. And I think we can give a round of applause to Jaya and Pseudonym for the Shipyard Academy and all the modes around it, because it's a big project, and I hope it will bring the privacy problem we see now in the public space. So thanks to you and have a good day.
That's a great ending. Those are some nice last words for the call. So I don't just want to thank you, but I also want to thank everyone who's present here. Just for your information, everyone, we usually have about, I'd say, a few weeks ago, the average participation for these calls was about 40 people. We started off with about 15 people. Can you imagine that? And now it's about, today it's 165, including the 2 voice recording bots. So, as always, our beautiful, great, and wonderful community manager colleague called Pizza J, as we call him, has created another set of POAPs, so proof of attendance protocol assets. We've prepared 200 today. We really want to create more. However, somehow they do not want to give us more of these POAPs. So it's been quite a little bit of a pain to increase the amount of POAPs we can distribute to all of you. So luckily for today, these 200 should be enough. So if you were present today at this call for at least X amount of minutes, I'm not going to say how long because that might be bad in the future if we do some more of these POAP releases. So if you've been present at this call for the full duration, or at least a long time during this call, you will be able to head on over to the Claim Attendance NFT part. That's the channel below the community call channel. And there you will be able to see a short guide to actually claim your POAP for this week. So just too long didn't read. The only thing you have to do is go to the channel and then send a slash command. So slash claim, and then little menu opens up where you can claim your actual POAP for today's call. Then you can click the link in the message itself, and then you'll be able to enter your address to actually claim it. So thank you all for participating today, especially thanks to everyone who also sent in the questions. These questions really keep the community call alive and kicking. So thank you to all of you for joining today. I've had a blast. I hope you've had a blast as well. And we'll see each other, well, tomorrow actually, because there's going to be a quiz. So thank you, everyone, and have a great weekend. Bye bye.
Bye.